Wake that ass up.
In the morning.
The Breakfast Club.
Morning, everybody. It's DJ NV, Jess Hilarious, Charlamagne the Guy. We are the Breakfast Club. Lauren LaRosa filling in for Jess. And let's get in some front page news. Quickly, in some quick sports. Tonight, Thursday Night Football. The Bengals take on the Ravens at 8:15. Good morning, Morgan.
Good morning, and I love to see it. Ravens block, let's go.
You already know what was that?
I don't know what that was.
Why are you such a hater? Jeez.
Yo.
Anyway, good morning, MV.
Good morning.
And Warren.
Good morning.
Hey, Charlamagne, or whatever.
Morning, Morgan. How are you?
All right, y'all. So Kamala Harris is conceding the presidential race to Donald Trump. Speaking from her alma mater, Howard University in Washington, D.C., the vice president said her heart is full of gratitude for her supporters. Now, Harris said she called President-elect Trump yesterday to congratulate him, and she is looking forward to a peaceful transfer of power. Let's hear more from VP Harris.
We have been intentional about building community and building coalitions, bringing people together from every walk of life and background, united by love of country with enthusiasm and joy in our fight for America's future. And we did it with the knowledge that we all have so much more in common than what separates us. Now, I know folks are feeling and experiencing a range of emotions right now. I get it. But we must accept the results of this election. Earlier today, I spoke with President-elect Trump and congratulated him on his victory. I also told him that we will help him and his team with their transition. While I concede this election, I do not concede the fight that fueled this campaign.
Can't hear Morgan. Oh, there you go.
Outside yesterday on the campus of Howard University, there were a lot of tears as she delivered that speech. She said the light of America's promise will burn bright as long as we never give up. She, of course, thanked Governor Tim Walz for his work on the campaign trail.
Nothing.
Yeah.
Okay?
He was out there
For
crying
nothing.
too.
All right,
Bless
thanks
his
for
God.
nothing, Tim Walz.
You know, your grandma be like, God bless his soul.
Thanks for nothing, Tim Walz. I told y'all that from the beginning. All right, never was sold on him. Thanks for nothing.
Jesus.
Okay.
Did you go back out there, Morgan? Did you go back out there?
Yeah,
or no?
I was out there yesterday, and it was
What was the
very
mood?
somber.
Yeah, very
somber mood. Yeah, it was very it was a feeling of defeat. Anyway,
Gotcha.
So yeah.
Well, I mean, it was. It's not a feeling. She was defeated.
Yeah.
I will say the
But
vice president did nothing wrong. Drop one of clues bombs for Kamala Harris. Okay, that 100-day campaign was historic and inspiring. Polling wise, President Biden had them in the hole, and Kamala Harris gave them a fighting chance going into Election Day. Polls said they was neck and neck on Election Day. That's all you can ask for.
Yeah.
I always say, do you think that she would run again? Do you think that she would try this again and that
No.
next time have a full campaign and have enough time and start,
I don't
so
know.
early?
I personally don't know, but probably not. I don't think that there's too many Democratic strategists who would want her to run again.
Why not? How does that work?
Because of the way she lost.
But you just said she didn't have enough time.
I didn't say she didn't have enough time. I said for what she did, it was a historic campaign.
Well, a lot of people believe she didn't have enough time.
I think the Biden administration, because of their approval rating, especially Biden, the fact she didn't distance herself from Biden far enough, and the fact that his approval rating was under 40. I personally don't think they would run her again in 4 years. I don't know. Who knows?
Like you said yesterday, this is the time for the Dems to just lock in and figure out who's up next then, whether it be her or not. But of course, Tim Walz, he took to social media to release a statement saying their campaign was the honor and privilege of his life. He wrote, "While the outcome is not what we wanted, I'm grateful to the millions of Americans who stood up for the greatest ideals, decency, compassion, and love of our neighbor." Also, President Biden, he's praising Harris following her concession speech. Biden released a statement saying what America saw today was Kamala Harris, the Kamala Harris I know and deeply admire. He said that she led a historic campaign that was guided by a strong moral compass and a clear vision for a nation that is more free, more just, and full of more opportunities. Now, Biden is scheduled to speak today at 11 Eastern from the White House. His remarks will come, of course, 2 days after Trump defeated Harris. So we will. I was going to say, go ahead.
I hope she holds her head high. She has nothing to be ashamed of. You know what I'm saying? Like she had a 100+ day campaign. I don't even remember how many days exactly.
107.
107 or something like that.
Yeah.
And she brought together Republicans. She brought together progressives. But at the end of the day, it just wasn't enough. You know, she lost. You know, now onward. The 47th president of the United States of America is Donald J. Trump. So, you know, let's hope for the best. I love what she said when she said the light of America's promise shines bright.
Yeah, they also said yesterday, I was watching the news, that they said a lot of people sat this one out. A lot of people just didn't go to the polls.
I think Joe Biden had like over 80+ million votes in 2020. I think the VP is at like what, 64, 65 million?
65 million, yeah, 65
So
million.
like 15 million people decided to sit on the couch. And then we said from the beginning.
She had 67 million.
67 million. That's what, 13 million people who didn't show up. So I always said that this election was going to come down to the Republicans, who was the crooks, the Democrats, who are the cowards, because they don't fight hard enough about nothing, and the couch, which is voter apathy. And it seemed like the couch won.
Yeah.
I think politics are so interesting because after all this, and they have to figure out a way to work together.
And
Like all those things they throw back and
Well,
forth.
they got to put things to the side and do what's best for the country now.
And so do we, as the American people. We the people. That's what I was saying yesterday. Like, you know, regardless of all the division and, you know, things that were said back and forth, at the end of the day, we still have to find a way to be civil with one another as human beings on this planet. Regardless of who you decided to vote for, we are still American people at the end of the day. And guess what? We rely on each other to keep each other safe.
That's right.
That's just,
Oh man,
that's just
Charlamagne
fact.
for president. Let's go.
Oh God, please don't do
Be
that.
for president. Let's
They
get
be
it.
deep diving on everybody you ever breathed toward.
Oh, I don't even care. They know I'm trash.
Exactly. And see, that's why he would make a good one.
Exactly
He
what
doesn't-
he trash. Exactly, he trash.
I'm trash. I'm a work
Oh, the
in
fact
progress.
that he doesn't care what the people. Well, I don't know. Anyways,
Both.
yeah. All right.
All right.
Stick around at 7. We'll get caught up with some local news in regards to what New York Governor Kathy Hochul had to say about Trump's win.
Wake that ass up.
Early in the morning.
The Breakfast Club.
Morning, everybody. It's DJ NV, Jess Hilarious, Charlamagne the Guy. We are the Breakfast Club. Lauren LaRosa filling in for Jess. And let's get back in some front page news. Now, quickly in sports tonight, Morgan's Ravens are taking on the Bengals at 8:15. So we'll see what happens tonight. What's up,
I
Morgan?
thought Morgan was a Commander fan.
She both.
No, I was born a Commanders fan,
She
and
said she had 4
I am
teams.
now a Ravens fan. Don't get it twisted, okay?
Okay.
Because you mad over there because you know your so-called America's team is trash. Anyways, back to New York with it. Hey y'all, hey. New York Governor Kathy Hochul and Attorney General Letitia James vowing to protect the rights of New Yorkers now that Donald Trump is headed back to the White House. Now, while congratulating Trump, Hochul said that she'll work with him on efforts that benefit New York, like funding of major infrastructure like the MTA. Those include LGBTQ, gun safety, and women's rights, of which she's vowing to protect under a strengthened partnership with the AG. Now, Hochul also applauded the passage of Proposition 1, which secures abortion rights in the state constitution. Let's hear more from New York Governor Kathy Hochul.
This is the birthplace of the women's rights movement, the environmental justice movement, the LGBTQ rights movement, and the American labor movement. If you try to harm New Yorkers or roll back their rights, I will fight you every step of the way. This amendment firmly establishes that reproductive freedom is an important value worth fighting for and worth protecting.
Meanwhile, Attorney General Letitia James, she's reminding us that her office took nearly 100 legal actions against Trump before including over tax caps and the Affordable Care Act, and they're ready for round 2. Let's hear from AG Letitia James.
Because as the Attorney General of this great state, it is my job to protect and defend the rights of New Yorkers and the rule of law. And I will not shrink from that responsibility. So as you can see, we know their playbook. We know Project 2025 before it was even published.
I respect Letitia James. She's just a solid person, but those charges won't stand. She said she's ready for round 2, but that fight will be stopped. It just is what it is. The man is literally the most powerful man in America, probably the world at this point. He's got the Senate, he's got the Supreme Court.
It's not gonna happen.
He's president now. Sorry, Letitia. Oh, and that's just not her charges. All the charges, every charge. I saw that yesterday. He was talking about Jack Smith already talking about dropping the charges because Trump said he firing Jack Smith. So and I know that there's a difference between federal and state, but none of those stuff is gonna stand.
But what about him being sentenced on the 25th? I think it is.
He's not even going. He's not even going to show up, and ain't nobody going to say nothing about it. Ain't nobody going to say it'll be a couple of mentions on the news, and ain't nobody going to flinch on it. That's just the reality of the situation.
He gonna get time served.
He's not gonna get nothing.
Oh, man. To Charlamagne's point, the DOJ is moving to wind down his Trump's criminal charges before he takes office. So, yeah, he right. Charlotte, CTG, you right about that one. Moving on, New York officials are trying to diffuse possible political dissension following Trump's victory. New York City Mayor Eric Adams said his administration is prepared to cooperate with the incoming president's administration on several issues, especially the city's budget. Ironically, he's promising women's health care and abortions remain protected in New York City, and he's vowing to protect New York's immigrant communities, especially those who have a desire to work. He said the NYPD is also prepared for political demonstrations as long as they remain peaceful, adding they will not tolerate criminal activity. Let's hear more from Mayor Adams.
The votes have been counted, and America has elected a new president, incoming President Donald Trump. As Americans, we respect the will of the power of the people and committed to the peaceful transfer of power. And we will work with the new administration and Congress to develop a realistic and compassionate national strategy for our immigration system. There will be zero tolerance for actions that cross the line into crimes such as violence, vandalism, blocking traffic, or disorderly behavior.
Yeah, he's also saying that New York remains a sanctuary city, and he intends to continue to protect immigrant communities. So, that whole mass deportation thing, if you're in New York, hold your elected officials accountable for it. Day
one mass deportation. Everybody having all of these conversations. Everybody talking real tough. Ain't none of that going to go down, after Donald Trump is sworn in January. It's going to be mass deportations. And, 9 times out of 10, Trump and his cronies going to be like, well, if y'all don't like it, y'all get on the plane with him.
Yeah, I don't think he's going to be able to
get on the boat with him. However they going to send him back.
He's starting the next day. The day he starts, he's going.
He said day one. His press secretary said yesterday, day one.
They was talking about it on CNN.
Day one. Cut it out, y'all.
Which day? First day.
Day one, that's right.
People got the president.
All right, and to wrap things up, the race for control of the House of Representatives is still undecided. Republicans are expressing confidence they'll take control once all the votes are counted. The GOP needs a dozen more seats to keep control. The Democrats need about 30 to flip it, but political analysts say that seems unlikely. If the GOP keeps control, it would give Republicans control of both houses of Congress. That's the Senate and the House of Representatives and the White House following Donald Trump's victory. So, yeah, they in there. They in there, and they got it.
All right.
God bless us.
GOP party. All right. You said God bless us. That's your front page news of Morgan Wood. Follow me on social at Morgan Media. And for more news coverage, follow at Black Information Network. Download the free iHeartRadio app and visit us at BINnews.com.
All right. Thank you, Morgan.
Thursday. Sheesh. I don't even know. Thank y'all.
Wake that ass up. In the morning. The Breakfast Club.